Okay, welcome back everybody. Today we are going to make another chess piece. In this case we are going to use extrude. Last time we used spin. So we spun a pawn and this time we're going to extrude a rook. So I'm going to come over to another layer and I'm going to use, let's see, I'll go ahead and put in my background image again, coming over here to the end tab, and then I want to add an image and I'm going to add, I think I'll add a different image this time. Let's see what my chessboard looks like. I'll choose this one. So now I can't see anything. I need to go into solid view and then I need to come in here and make sure I hit either the 1 or the 3, tap 5, and there it is. Okay, so in any case, I'm going to start by saying Shift S, cursor to center, and then I'm going to add a circle. Notice there's a circle up here, and down under the curves menu there's another type of circle. Use the simple circle up here, and instead of moving the circle down to the rook, I'm going to move the rook up to the circle. And so to do that, I'm going to slide it over on the x-axis, try to get that as centered as possible, and then I'll slide it up on the y-axis, or the z-axis, I guess. And so that looks pretty good. Alright, so now I will zoom in a bit more and I'm going to extrude this. And so in order to extrude, I need to make sure that, first of all, I'm going to scale this down to about the right height. Notice this is not a dead-on side view, this is curved, and so I don't need to match that. I just want to look and see where these little edges go and try to follow that as closely as possible. And so with tabbing into edit mode, I want to make sure I have vertex selected, and I'll just start extruding on the z-axis. And let's see, try that again. Extrude on the z-axis, and I'm going to come up a little bit. Extrude, basically scale this guy in, get that little edge right here. I'm going to extrude up again on the z-axis. I'm going to taper in just a bit. It looks like it has kind of an edge where it goes out and then up and then back in. So I'll say extrude on the z, maybe come up just a little bit and then scale out. And then I'm going to extrude on the z and get that little edge. And then I'm going to extrude on the z and come up and scale that guy way in. Okay, so that's the base part. And then I can extrude and go way up. I think I'll taper this in quite a bit. And I'm going to try and get, let's see, this edge up here. I'm going to do the hat. Let's see, on a rook, that's not a hat, that's, I guess, a parapet. But in any case, I'm going to extrude and scale out a little bit. I can bring that up. Let's see, maybe out a little bit more. Up. So then I'm going to extrude on the z and scale out. Extrude on the z, kind of make a little lip there, and then extrude and scale in. And then I will extrude on the z and match that last little bit there. Extrude on the z, extrude and scale in. Okay, so I'm going to build my hat on top of that, and I'm going to say Shift S, cursor to selected, and I'm going to put my parapet for my rook right up there. Now I would like to get rid of these facets. If I were to look at this right now in object mode, I have all these facets. One way to get rid of that is to hit subsurf, maybe bump that up, and notice that really does change the shape. It started from here, and there's one subdivision, 2 subdivisions, and so forth. And it changes the shape, but I can get a lot of the, those lines back if I say Control R and drop a loop cut down. And so I'll do the same thing down here. I'm going to have a loop cut right there. So Control R gives me a loop cut. If I move the cursor next to a vertical line, I get a horizontal loop cut. If I move it next to a horizontal line, I get a vertical loop cut. And that's the way loop cuts work. So I'm going to bring that edge back. I'm going to bring that edge back. And I want this guy down on the bottom. Okay, good. This part up on top, maybe I want a little bit harder edge up on top here. And then, I can put one in here. I want this guy to come up. And I will take this guy and bring him down. Good. Maybe one more. I want a little harder edge right in there. Okay. So now if I look at that guy, that's my Rook, and I like the way that looks. So now I'll just go ahead and put on the top of the Rook, which on an actual castle would be called a parapet. I don't know what they're called in the chess pieces, but in any case, I'm going to start with a cylinder, and I think I'll make this guy 16 vertices, and I want the fill type to be nothing. So don't have an n-gon, that's important. Have nothing for the fill type. And so now I scale this down a little bit on the z-axis, tap into edit mode. If I alt select the top, I can scale this guy out, scaling out, and now I'm ready to make the shape. I'm going to extrude and scale, so I bring that in. I'm going to extrude and on the z-axis and bring that down. And see how far I went. Maybe I can grab that on the z-axis and bring that down more. Maybe scale him in so that kind of parallels the outside. This guy I'm going to close off. I'm going to alt select that, extrude, and scale way in. And now this guy, same thing, alt select, extrude, and scale way in. Okay, so that's the start, and obviously this is too big, but I'm going to go ahead and make the, the little jagged shape up on top in a couple of different ways. First way is going to be the easiest, I think, and so if I look at this guy straight down and I go into here, I can choose, let's say, 2 of these guys. I chose 16 so that I'll get, I'm going to select 8, so that means I've not selected 8. And if I look at this guy from the side view and I extrude this guy on the z-axis, they'll all come straight up. And then if I scale out this way, I can match that angle as closely as I can. And so that is a chess piece. Let's go ahead and shrink this guy down. So we want him right about in there. And so that is an example. Now this guy is much more faceted, and I can also add a loop, or I can also add a subsurf modifier to this, but it's going to be a little bit tougher to maintain this basic shape. In any case, there's another way that I can do the same thing, or something similar actually. But I guess we'll get to that. I was going to do a Boolean modifier, but I think I'll wait till we get to the bishop for that. In any case, let's go ahead and put in our subsurf modifier on this guy. And so you can see it really gets deformed. And so to get back in here and change that, I can just add loop cuts. I'm going to add loop cuts all through this guy. Along here. And maybe I'm going to come in here, bring it in this way, come in here, bring it in this way. And then I really should go to each of these guys on the edge and move those over here and here. And whoops, didn't want that one. Here and here. And nope, didn't want that one. Here and here and here. And then finally here. Oops, didn't want that one. Now I could put them down here, but I think I kind of like that rounded look. So let's see what this guy looks like. If I come back into here, and I'm going to, let's put on met caps. So where are my met caps? I always lose, oh, here they are. They're in shading, and I can see what this guy would look like with different kind of colors. And so that's got some, that looks okay. I think I'll come back over here and choose smooth shading, and I think that Rook looks just fine. I'll try some different kind of materials to see what it would look like. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to choose this guy and go to smooth shading for him as well. And that's good. So let's go ahead and put this guy back on the board. I'm going to take this piece and then select the base, and I'm going to say, well, that didn't work. Select, select him, Control P, keep offset. Let's see if that worked. Didn't look like the top piece was being selected. Yeah, that works. Okay, so let's go ahead and take the entire guy now and move him to the first layer. Didn't work. Okay, move him to the first layer. And so now, move him up. Let's get rid of this met cap. Let's That's weird. I sort of lost my other piece. So let's see, circle right here. Okay. All right, so let's take this guy, bring him back down, and let's give him a color. Actually, you know what? I'm going to join these two together. Boy, this guy is not working out. I don't know what that is. I'm not able to. Something's wrong. Anyway, let's go ahead and add some color to this guy. So I'll go back to my M materials button. Let's go ahead and make this one orange. I'll have to do these separately. So we'll go ahead and make him orange as well. Okay, so let's see what he looks like, and then that will be it for this video. So now we've got two pieces. We've got a pawn and we've got a rook, and that's it. Bye-bye.